There are a lot of mech games for the Saturn, Virtual On, Gun Griffin, and even a sequel to Cybernator. But here's one that deserves much more attention than it receives, Bulk Slash. Bulk Slash is a 3D behind-the-mech shooter by Hudson. Unlike games such as Gun Griffin or Armored Core, its emphasis is on simple, fast arcade-style action. Colors are bright, power-ups are plentiful, and bosses are enormous. Oh yeah, and it's anime-styled. Intrigued? Let's throw this on and see what it's all about. The game starts with a fantastic animated intro that will instantly grab fans of 80s and 90s mecha shows. And like any good sappy anime, it somehow pulls off being simultaneously fist-pumping, wistful, and silly. I can say that if you dig this sort of thing, you will like this game. Yes, it's got laser swords, laser cannons, and likely some kind of heartbreaking romance plot that I can't read. But while the game is in Japanese, there isn't much of a language barrier to enjoying Bulk Slash, as the gameplay is a pretty straightforward 3D shooter. And speaking of shooting, your mech is no slouch in Bulk Slash. You have many weapons at your disposal. You start with a powerful bomb, a main cannon, and a sword. The mech can also transform into a jet, and in this mode the bomb is replaced with multiple lock-on missiles that are reminiscent of the firepower in Macross. There are also a wide variety of power-ups for your main gun, such as flamethrowers and homing lasers. The homing laser is named the Bezier gun, which is cute, because this is likely the math formula that they used to produce that cool curve effect that you're seeing here right now. Throughout the game, you can also pick up different navigator characters that will help you on your missions. These various co-pilots help you find targets and will also let you orient yourself towards the boss by hitting a button. I'm sure they all have a different story, though since I don't speak Japanese, I'm not sure what it's all about. This is one of those things you'll miss out on if you don't speak the language. And there I'm sure she's just getting pissed at me for going off course. That I can understand. I love how cartooned the art style looks even though it's all in fully texture mapped 3D. That's something you don't see all that often. For example, look at the shading on the buildings at nighttime. They're not going for photorealism, they're going for style. And keep in mind, this was before cell shading was a thing. I'm sure if you could do that back then, they would have, but, you know, this is the next best thing. There are a wide variety of missions in Bulk Slash. While the first few are standard destroy all the bases affairs, it soon branches out into indoors missions, escort missions, and an especially tricky one where you have to carry bombs to targets without them being detonated prematurely. One great thing is that you don't have to complete the missions in order either. Completing the first 3 unlocks the next 3 missions, and so on. So if you're stuck on one, try another. You might be happy to know too that the escort mission is rather forgiving, which really is a breath of fresh air given how many games have extremely frustrating escort missions. It seems like the developers were very aware of this and did it right. So yeah, I really have to give Bulk Slash some props for variety. And of course, each stage ends with the obligatory boss battle. While the bosses are varied visually, they can all be more or less defeated using the same circle around and launch missiles strategy.
前方です。
Just stay out of the way and try not to get hit. Even the indoor boss isn't really all that different. Though I've gotta say, it does have some pretty cool attacks. And of course, destroying them is as satisfying as ever. On a purely technical level, the graphics are simple but above average for a third-party Saturn game. While your mech is a sprite, everything else is full-blown polygon graphics, albeit with quite a bit of pop-up due to its short view distance. However, it's full of bright colors, attractive low-polygon designs, and details such as pouring rain and mist. Your mech even leaves a wake when you fly close to the water. The soundtrack is also quite good. It's full of fast and funky tunes that really help propel the action. Whether it's the squealing guitar solo in the intro or the synth brass chords throughout the music, there's no awesomely cheesy touch left behind. Except for orchestra hits. I don't think this has any orchestra hits. Yeah, Bulk Slash is fast, fun, controls great, and is stylish. Though I didn't find it to have all that much replay value or depth. Though maybe that changes when played on hard mode. I haven't tried that yet. Either way, it does play exceptionally well. If you wish you had more games that were an old school mecha show come to life, you can't go too wrong with this one. The worst thing about not speaking the language is I have no idea why this is called Bulk Slash. Is it like the opposite of buying slashes individually, you're getting them in bulk? I don't know, it sounds like a pretty good deal to me.